How is everybody tonight? Can everybody hear me okay? How is everybody tonight? Oops, that's not going to work. Okay, I got to mute that. All right. So great to see you guys. We have Jasmine and Jocelyn, my granddaughter. Hi, sweetie pie. Julie Atherton, my bestie. Michael, my other bestie. Got a few others in here. Let's see. Don't want to miss anybody here. Well, anyway, you guys know me. I'm Kat Four Winds, also known as Sarah Sinister's mother. So that's kind of cool. So I've been wanting to do this class for a long time, and the more I speak with people and the more I learn about things, the more I realize this class is really needed. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about psychic protection, and I'm going to teach you how to build barriers as well as make holy water. I was, just a little history on myself, I was born and raised Catholic. Yes, I do use Catholicism in some of the work I do. You use what you know. That's how it is. But I also am a shaman. I do Native American work. I'm an ordained minister as well, but I non-denomination. That's just to cross souls over, because some souls, the reason why they don't go is they don't feel they're worthy to cross. I make them feel worthy to cross, and they go. It's that simple. So I'm going to give you some techniques, and I'm going to share some certain lovely things. Watch for the orbs. I have orbs going around my bedroom right now. I have spirit children in here with me right now. So I'm going to teach you some techniques. Feel free to apply. It all comes down to intent. It's not the wordings that I'm saying to you. It's the feeling and the emotion. How do you control the psychic world? You do it emotionally. Hang on one second. My dog's whining. Sorry about that, guys. He's right here. I'm sorry. My dog he's very attached to me, and he's whining at my feet. If you want to throw him on the bed, maybe he'll be good there. I don't know. Okay, thanks, Shane. Appreciate it. Okay, so what I was saying is that my techniques, I've been doing this for over 30 something years. I've learned a thing or two. I experiment with demons, believe it or not. I do have some upstairs in the attic. That's a car. To my house, because I learned by keeping these entities, I don't torment them, I'm not mean to them, but I do learn certain ways to handle them. How do you deal with negative things? You do it by binding them or banishing, sending them away. And people don't realize this, but we all have powers in us. So tonight's psychic class is going to be about making holy water. So psychic protection, what is it? Psychic protection is about keeping your energy, your aura, very healthy, so you do not get jumped or get things that kind of follow you home, that are a lesser frequency than you, because in time these things drain you. There's known as being spiritual vampires. You know people like this. These are people that live in the drama, Own your own energy. Exactly right, Sarah. And it's not just about what you're putting out into the world, it's what you're allowing to come into you. And I'm going to explain this to you in a second, too, as well. When you feel safe and secure, your aura is huge. That is your protection. When you feel safe and you know that you're guarded, hi, Kenneth, great to see you. Love. Um, so when you feel happy and at peace and content, that emotion carries over to the spiritual world. It's that simple. It's the power of attraction, so to speak. I taught myself automatic writing. I was a good person. I'm full of love and light. And I thought, hey, nothing can go wrong. Well, it did. Over 30 years ago, I got a very negative attachment and it almost destroyed me. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. I would actually get up in the middle of the night and he would punch me in the forehead and knock me out. I would wake up on the floor. Sleep paralysis was a nightly thing. Every time that it started to go from daytime to nighttime, I could feel the energy. I know some of you in here know what I'm talking about because I'm working with some clients that are in chat right now that can feel the energy of a negative thing as the time of the day goes by. As it gets closer to nighttime, they grow stronger in nighttime. They like the darkness. So the beauty of dark and light, everything serves a purpose here. It really does. We learn the most from our negative experiences. I have actually thanked my attachment that I had way back then that almost destroyed me, okay? Because I've learned valuable life lessons. And I am now a shaman, an ordained minister, Reiki master, which is what I use to remove attachments on people as well. And I will be doing a future class on that. I've discussed with a few people in chat. So I'm looking forward to that. So when you feel safe and secure and you're operating a higher frequency, the energy of others will not affect you. And this is how amazing it is. You yourself, in turn, become like a crystal does for us. When your frequency is really high in that love and light vibe, I have charts. I'll throw all this up on Facebook if you want to see it afterwards. There's actually frequency charts. People don't realize it. Herbs have frequency. Colors have frequency. Numbers 333, 666. They have a frequency to them. 666 is a very low frequency, and that's why negative things love that frequency. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight and showing up. I have so much in my head. My mouth doesn't talk fast enough to get it all out. So please, I'm watching chat too. So if you need me to slow down, please say so because I bust with energy and it drives me crazy. So being responsible with your energy. Okay, so this is the class breakdown I've been working on for you guys. And so I'm going to explain to you. Jocelyn, your locker number is 666. Are you serious? Tell them you want a new locker number. I'm just kidding. Again, intent. If you feel that 666 doesn't bother you, then great. We manifest things to our lives and we create blocks, spiritual blocks in ourselves by fear. Okay. We get oppressed. We oppress ourselves. Our ego gets in the way sometimes. Our ego never lets us be happy in the moment. I'll be happy when I get the job. I'll be happy when I get that good looking guy over there. Okay. They never allow you to be happy in the here and now. And sadly, the only moment in time that exists is here and now, is the moment that we are in and that we're sharing right now. So, yes, it's very ironic. So, you control the spiritual world with your emotions. The first thing I teach my clients when they are scared crapless, okay, from these negative entities, I tell them breathe. Prana, deep breathing. Why do you think every meditation starts? Take a deep breath because it instantly raises your frequency from here to here. When you take that prana and that deep breath, hold it. These cleansing breaths, you're bringing in good energy into you. And when you exhale, you're releasing negative energy. I teach my clients to blow fire, the violet flame, as they exhale, so they're not releasing negative energy out into their home or wherever they're doing it to have somebody else deal with it. One of the things that I did want to mention to you guys, and This is very poignant. And then we're going to make holy water. All right, so this is from my Reiki class, believe it or not. I actually teach this stuff for real. Empathic atmosphere. This is when we pick up other people's thoughts and feelings as well as their illnesses. This is what Sarah's talking about. Own your energy. Do not allow, and this is a problem with empaths, and just about everybody in this chat right now is an empath, guaranteed. You feel other people's emotions and you bring that into you. And when you sit there and you fester in that, over time, it makes you sick and it makes you ill. Worry is wasted energy. When I can't fix something today, I say, God, or whatever you believe in, I release it to you because I'm not going to waste my energy working on that today because I can't do anything about it today. And I know in your God given time and your sweet ways, it will all work out because it always does. It really does. And this is the most beautiful part about raising your frequency and going up, okay? Nikola Tesla said it best: when you start seeing the world in frequencies as opposed to visually seeing it, okay, you can understand the secrets to the universe better. 3, 6, and 9 were 3 numbers that he stuck by. He would go around a building 6 times or 9 times before he'd enter it because he had these rituals. Can drive you crazy. I have certain rituals I do that they're great, and I will share them with you as well. So, empathic atmosphere. Owning your thoughts, and also to discernment. This is the biggest word and the best word you're ever going to learn is discernment. Knowing what the truth is, knowing your truth. Your truth may be different than somebody else's truth. Remember that. A diamond has many facets. If you turn it, there's many different facets to a diamond. So it is a diamond, but there's many different perspectives of looking at that diamond. So remember that. When somebody's angry with you, again, this is psychic energy coming at you. When you're angry and you're fighting with people, that energy is coming at you, okay? This is how the evil eye works, which you mentioned earlier, Jasmine. Believe it or not, giving the middle finger, which I won't do, is actually was invented to, it stops the evil eye. It stops a curse. It's a gypsy thing, believe it or not. It is. Certain things that you do throughout your day can actually raise your frequency very easy ways. Singing bowls, wonderful. One way to raise your frequency. You can ask my friends in chat. They never see me without it. I have my tuning fork. I'm always zapping somebody or even myself. It helps instantly raise your frequency if you're being bothered by something. It even actually relieves pain. If I get a headache, I will nail myself with a tuning fork and my headache honestly goes away. It's that easy and that crazy. Energies in your house. You've heard of feng shui. Feng shui is natural flow of energy going through your house. Negative things like stagnant, stale energy. Remember this. So if you're a hoarder and you have all these rooms with boxes and everything else just piled up, they love these spaces because they can go undetected and unnoticed, and they'll hang out there and wait till you have a bad day, and they come in and make your day even worse. Another way to clear energy in your house, believe it or not, drums. Even just walking around, you don't have to spend money. Walking around with 2 pots and pans and banging them in each room, it actually shatters the frequency of the room. I go around with singing bowls and I can actually tell if the frequency in the room is very low, because if I have a hard time singing my singing bowl, obviously. Hey, Jasmine, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. So using certain things to help raise the frequency in the room. You have wind chimes. Wind chimes are wonderful to have outside. And the other thing is, too, it just breaks the energy up and it keeps negative. They don't like high vibration. You know, I can actually, believe it or not, take my singing bowl and go into a room where 100 people are, 100 people. And when I start singing that bowl, I can tell you who has attachments by the ones that are leaving. They actually will leave. they will leave the room because they cannot stand the high frequency of the singing bowl. Their attachment will not let them stay. You don't realize it, but these certain things can sit here and do, they can send messages. And that is the next thing that I wanted to get, which is psychic interference. And you guys probably don't know what this is, but you're going to know what it is, because as soon as I tell you, you're going to say, oh my God, that's happened to me. Psychic interference is the process of feeling someone else's feelings over your own, such as illness, fears, and emotions. You form a mental bond with a creature, such as something demonic. They'll form a bond with you and target the mind is what they do, hindering you in several ways. They can actually send hallucinations to you. And I have had this happen to a couple people in the house. Why did I just see the room full with blood? Because I brought home something from a case, and the energy or the residual energy of it is still there, and it can actually cause psychic visuals and so forth. So anyway, so that's very interesting. So we're going to talk about ways to protect yourself. I just want to do the breakdown of the classes that I have in store for you. One of the ways you can protect yourself, believe it or not, is white light. Intent. You're going to hear me say this word a million times, so please, please listen. If you heed anything, heed this one word, intent. Intent is everything. If you feel that you're big and you're powerful and you're protected by angels and everything else, you are. Okay. And please know, angels are not religious. They predate Christ. They predate everything. Okay. So it's not religion when I speak of angels. I actually do automatic writings with them. I have several journals in these classes. I will share some of the readings with you from Archangel Michael and these lovely beings that they have shared with me, because it's for humanity and to help humanity. They tell us that we're never happy in the here and now. They tell us that we have no idea what free will is, because we lock ourselves up in spiritual cages, putting ourselves in relationships that we shouldn't belong in, putting ourselves in places that we're not happy, and just idly sitting there. That's not meant what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to take that God given gift of free will and use it for good things. Help people. I find when I help people, I'm at my optimal health wise. I feed off this stuff. I really, really, truly do. So, intent. Picturing a white bubble. Let's do this now, everybody. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Exhale. You've instantly raised your frequency just by doing that, just by taking that one inhalation that we do. I like to do it 3 times. Inhale through your nose. You want to do a really big belly breath. You want your belly to really fill up with air. Hold it for 7 seconds, and this really increases your consciousness, and then release it. And when you do this, you picture a beautiful white bubble, a crystalline bubble around yourself. This is your protection by you doing this. So have fun with the bubble. Be a child. Be a 2-year-old imagination of a child. Seriously. Put hearts in your bubble. Make your bubble uninhabitable. Now let's take it a step further. Another thing that you can do in your bubble, believe it or not, is put mirrors in it. Put a mirror facing outwards, away from you, to the back of you, to the side of you, to the side of you, above you, and below you. And what this does in your bubble, if you're in a room with these negative people, it will bounce off and go back to them. And it doesn't affect you emotionally as much as it normally would an empath. Another thing I can do is, and I do this all the time, when I go out in public and somebody might be annoying me or something, I actually picture putting a glass jar over the person, and with intent, and believe it or not, in 5 minutes, I don't hear the person anymore. It's so crazy how it works. Play the game. Show everybody in this chat is here because you all have psychic abilities. That's why you're here. And when psychic abilities, and the reason why we all get attachments, and we all do, when we open up psychically, our frequency is low. Okay. We are an easy target for things to jump us, to control us. Dream state, yes, Jasmine, is the worst because, in fact, it happened to me the other night and it hasn't happened to me in years, but it's because I'm helping somebody on a very negative case and I'm familiar with these beings that I'm dealing with. And they know you. Nothing knows the darkness better than you do, better than they do. And nothing knows your fears better than they do. So, how do you stop that? Get over your fears. Seriously. I'm going to tell you, a demon cannot, and this is the biggest thing, everybody's worried about demonic possession. A demon cannot possess you, number one rule, unless your frequency is equal or below the demons. It hurts him. He can't get inside of you if your frequency is high. That's why I can go up in the attic. That's why I can sit there with all the nasties that are up there and not be affected. Sometimes they do give me a headache like they did last night, but I know how to. You always want to neutralize the energy that is coming at you, because in time, if you leave it and you don't clear out your auric field, I put a 7 minute chakra tune up on our channel yesterday on Sinister Four Winds Investigations. I put it there. It's a great way to clean the crap out of your aura, instantly bring your vibration up, and it's instant protection. Okay. Keeping a positive vibration about you, staying from love and light and up. The frequency scale, I'll share that with you later. I can't share it, unfortunately, in here. Sarah's not down here, so I can't zoom it over to you guys. But there is a scale, okay? And the two lowest things on a frequency scale is guilt and shame. And that's under hate, by the way, guys. That's under fear and hate, is guilt and shame. And that's where negative things target you. If they know that you have guilt and you have shame, they will work on your psyche, believe it or not. They first start in dream state, Jasmine, absolutely. And then when they get enough energy from you and enough power from you, they can actually bust through into, this is called the gross realm that we live in, okay? This is the 3D. It's not 3D anymore. It's actually 4D now, but this is the gross realm. In order for them to break through into thank you, Sarah. She found it. Awesome. So guilt and shame, as you can see, is the two lowest ones on the bottom, okay? The anger at 150, that's the hate. Okay, anger and hate. Neutrality is a great place to be. Stop, get out of the Eeyore syndrome. When something happens to you, don't think, oh my God, why is it happening to me? Seriously, try to understand there's always a teaching behind any crappy situation. There's always a lesson to be learned. And if you don't want to repeat the lesson, learn it. Seriously. If you don't like the vibration that you're in because there's drama and there's crap in your life, get the hell out of the frequency that you're in. It's that simple. Seriously. The hard part is that these negative things like to wait. There's no time frame for them. Man invented time, not them, okay? So they will wait idly by until you have a really crappy day. And then they will come in. And that's when the thoughts come in. Why are you still here? Why haven't you done away with yourself? Or why don't you go hurt somebody? Or I mean, these are stupid thoughts. And I tell people, and this is another way to protect your energy, is control your thoughts. Seriously. Our brains, we've been raised for our body and our brains to tell us what's wrong, when we can turn around and tell our bodies what's right. And what I mean by this, think about this. How do I turn, okay, this is just water with crystals in it. How do I turn regular water into holy water? Intense, okay? And Dr. Yamato, he's actually on YouTube. You can go look him up, okay? He actually froze water. I love you. And he'd freeze the droplet of water and it would look just like a beautiful snowflake. And this is my theory why no two snowflakes are alike, because there's a consciousness to water. Think about it, okay? So to make holy water, I'm putting intent into the water and I'm purifying it in an essence through words and my vibration and frequency. Believe it or not, I tell water I love it. By putting that love vibe into the water, it makes a beautiful snowflake when they freeze it. And it's amazing. When you say evil or hate words, it actually freezes and looks like earwax. There's no rhyme or it's chaos is what it is, okay? Darkness is lack of knowledge, okay? Remember this. The light is knowledge. Things are only scary when you don't know what to expect. But when you learn how to control things and to manipulate your environment, which you all have the ability to do, by the way, you're very powerful. And I don't like schools because they don't teach you this. They don't teach you that you have abilities, that there's an ebb and flow to life, and you can learn to use the moon phases. And that's going to be another class, is Wicca 101, if anybody wants to join that one too. So I have years of experience being a hedge witch. That's somebody that works with beautiful herbs. This is mint, minty, minty, and crystals. This is my selenite. Selenite is a wonderful crystal to have. You put it in the windowsill. This is a wand I use for healing on people. Selenite actually gives energy to other crystals. So if you make a crystal grid, you want the selenite to be the center of the grid, because that will send out energy to the other crystals with the intent that you want to send into the grid. And what I mean by grid, I'll give you an example. These are my two favorite grids to use. This is called Metatron's Cube. Can you see that? Believe it or not, the circles, all of existence comes from this cube. Everything comes from this cube, okay? And what I mean by this, the circles represent feminine, the lines represent masculine. You can make any, you've heard of sacred geometry, you're looking at it. This represents Metatron. He's the first angel ever created, has over 32 pairs of wings. He's pretty cool. So I use Metatron's cube. So you would put crystals, you put one in the middle, and then around the edges. You can also draw crystal grids as well. And this is another great one. This is called the Flower of Life. Now, the flower of life, believe it or not, just taking this picture in my hands, okay, and setting my cup of coffee on this, believe it or not, this geometrical shape will affect the molecules in the water in my coffee and will actually make it high vibrational. So now guess what? I'm drinking that high vibration. So these little things that you do, another beautiful thing to do is make yourself a sacred space. If you live with negative people in your house and you can't move, make yourself a sacred space to go to. If you want to make an altar, altars are lovely, but you want to have earth, air, fire, water, and spirit on that. You are the spirit, by the way. You have anything. Use sigils. Sigils are great for protection. The number one thing we forget to do when we get in trouble spiritually is ask for help. The angels are here for a reason, and they are to help us get through bad things. Yes, maintaining your energy, very, very important. You're going to have days where you feel crappy, especially working, driving in traffic. Oh my God, I'm so bad. Get out of my way. I love you. Just throw a little I love you at the end. And when you do this, it kind of laughing, humor. You will hear me when we're on stream. I have humor because humor raises the frequency of the situation. In the middle of an exorcism, you'll hear me crack some jokes while I'm doing it because I'm trying to raise the frequency in the room. Learn to separate negative thoughts from your own vibration. Even if it's your negative thoughts, say, God, take this away. I don't want this because it's not of my vibration. Believe it or not, and people don't realize this, when you meet people like Ash and Jasmine and all these lovely people that are here tonight, you connect a cord with them. It comes out of your heart space or your solar plexus and it connects to that person. When you have relationships with people, you have cords connected to these people. So when you break up with somebody and you hear us say it, cut the cord. Because what happens is when you stay and break up with a guy, okay, and you leave that cord connected, he can still send negative vibes that will go to that cord to you, or he can still drain, especially if it's somebody that's like a spiritual vampire, they will still continue to drain your energy because that cord is still connected. Negative things in spirits will connect cords to you. This is why you always hear us at the end of stream, please cut your cords. Another thing that people don't realize, computers, cell phones, televisions, mirrors, these are all gateways. Yes, you can be affected watching our stream if you don't close the gateway on your instruments, because this energy can connect and go through you. How do I remotely view somebody's property? I had a dream about one of the girls that's in class here the other day, and I saw her farmer's porch, okay, in my dream, and I've never been to her house. I can remotely view. So if I can do that, a spirit sure as heck can do that, can it not? Yes, it can. And the beauty of getting an attachment, you can have good ones, okay? I have attachments right now. I have angelic attachments. I've invited them into my life. A spiritual attachment, a negative one, looks for an invite, especially if you want to use the D word, demonic. Yes, I use that word a lot, and I use it loosely because I've been doing this for 30 years and I know what's out there. I've seen them. I've shown you pictures of them. They're nasty. Okay. But I don't use it. When I say demon, to me, it's not Catholicism. To other people, it is. So I try not to use negative spirits, okay, or low vibrational beings. Um, Another way, demons are only made of two elements. People don't know this. Demons are only made of air and fire. This is why they need a vessel. This is why they need us, because we are earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, okay? Which makes us more powerful than them because they need a host. We don't need a host, okay? So that's important to know that you are in control when these negative things come in your life. You're only out of control when you give in and you just give up the fight. And that's not cool because you're fighting for things. A demon, for there to be in your life, creates a contract with you, a soul contract, which means some people have gone to Crossroads and called in Crossroad demons. If you guys watch Supernatural, a lot of that stuff on this show is spot on, believe it or not. I made a deal with the devil that I'm going to be famous and make lots of money, but in 20 years, guess what? You're going to die, and guess who's coming for that soul? So I break contracts that people accidentally create. Believe it or not, getting on Ouija boards, but just even doing EVPs, you're inviting these things into your house. And in essence, you are creating a contract with these things. So just be mindful of that. How do you prevent them from coming in your house? I'm getting ready to do some communication, but I only want to speak to beings of love and light, nothing that is negative that's going to come in here and do any harm in my home. Intent. Again, that word, intent. It's very, very important. So, anyway, so the next thing we're moving on to is recognize what is your emotions from other people's emotions. You ever been happy and just walk into a room where you know people have been fighting and it's so thick and heavy, it weighs on your chest? That's your solar plexus feeling the energy. Listen to your body. Your body has a separate consciousness than you do, and it really does. I'm talking to you right now. I'm not telling my heart to beat. It's just doing it. It's a biological thing. But your body will tell you things. Why do you think the hair stands up when a spirit comes near you? You didn't make that happen. Your body's saying, hey, something's not right here. Okay? Listen to your body. When you go into panic attacks, you can talk yourself out of it. Say, hey, and spirits will cause panic attacks. Spirits will cause anxiety, depression, sleep disorders. They can cause all these things, but they try to do it subtly. And then you go see the doctor and you get on medications and all these things when you don't need to do these things. You can actually, we are all healers. We all have the ability to heal ourselves. I've had 7 back operations. I should be in a wheelchair right now, and I'm not, because I refuse to live my life that way, and I healed myself. I heal other people. I love to heal other people. I've helped people with cancer. Believe it or not, cancer is low frequency and low vibrational. Demons can actually give you cancer. Did you know this? when you play certain frequencies, there's one playing now, which I can't hear because I don't have my audio on. So when you start playing low frequency, excuse me, when you start playing frequencies, you raise your vibration up, which is really awesome. There's a 9-hour one, play it at night, 528 hertz. It's the love frequency. It actually heals your DNA. How do you get rid of cancer? Play high vibrational stuff. Play it. Your body's 80% water. What do you think the water is doing in your body? It's taking that frequency of the sound of music playing, and it's healing itself. Cancer cells cannot multiply in a high frequency environment. This is key. Know this. I can't stop cancer in somebody that's 4-stage cancer because the cell damage is already done. But if they come to me in the first few stages, I can stop it. And I have. We have. My friends have. I have beautiful friends that are in chat with me that we work together and do this for people. So these are amazing things that you're not taught. Another beautiful thing is utilizing crystals. This is my beautiful rainbow Herkimer diamond. I've had this thing for probably 40 years now. That one's wonderful. This is great. And I teach programming crystals too. There's a consciousness to these babies. Yes, you can commune with them. I've actually meditated with them. Yes, disclaimer. If you are sick, definitely go to a doctor. But when they can't find the answers, it usually ends up being a spiritual thing. Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah, for that disclaimer. I greatly appreciate that. I get going on a tangent and I forget to say things. So thank you, Sarah. So Herkimer diamond, it sits by my bed and I ask it to protect me while I sleep. This is rose quartz. And every crystal is usually connected to a chakra. Rose quartz is connected to the heart chakra. So this is very great if somebody has heart problems, give them rose quartz and tell them to keep it by their bed where they sleep and so forth. It will help them. It's seriously. But definitely if you're sick or need help, go seek a doctor's advice. Absolutely. I do not recommend skipping that first. But rule out what possibly it isn't and then go from there. Filling your house with plants. I got plants. I got one back here and I got another one over here, which you can't see. It's mother-in-law's tongue. Plants are awesome. They help put extra oxygen into the room. So in essence, that gives you more energy. They're also, they kind of filter the air in the room, which is awesome. And they also tell you when something's really bad in your house, because if your house is loaded or infested, which I've been to houses that's way, you can't keep a plant alive. They will kill the plant. Seriously, they will kill the plant. Grounding and centering yourselves. This is very important. And what I mean by grounding, walking barefoot, going out in nature, sit under a tree. That's the best way to ground. Pretend you're a tree. Commune with the tree. Sit against the tree and just close your eyes and just connect with its energy. Trees, believe it or not, you get really good with this psychic stuff. You can commune with them. I have talked with trees. They will tell you history. They will tell you amazing history of the land and where you are. Now, as you create cords with people that need to be cut, you also can create cords to places. And what I mean by this is, say you are in an abusive relationship growing up, so forth, and the child home that you lived in is on a specific land that has bad memories for you. Seriously, just picture cutting the cord to that land, because that frequency is still coming through to you, and it can replay trauma and all these lovely things. Another great thing that you can actually do to help yourself is take the darkness away from yourself. And what I mean by that is do shadow work. We all have a shadow self. This is the shadow side of us that we have guilt and shame about. Oh, I can't believe I did that to that person. I was such a rotten kid. I was so rotten to my mother when I was a teenager. That's guilt. That's shame. Let it go. I can actually teach, and I do this. I walk people through meditations where they find their little child self and they transmute that negative energy of that child and they take it back in, and you feel whole after. It's really amazing. People think the soul is this one thing. It's not. I do soul retrievals. a, a soul can shatter. And what I mean by this is, say there really was a traumatic event that happened and it's so crazy, like maybe somebody just passed away that you love so dearly and you can't handle this, okay? A part of your psyche will break away. A part of your soul will go away because it doesn't want to break your psyche. Okay. There's only so much that your mind can handle at that moment. So that piece of the soul goes away. It may not even come back in this lifetime. Thank you, Michael. Very awesome. Thank you for that, Michael. Michael is my partner in teaching Reiki to other people. He's also my tech guy and my containment unit that he makes for these negative spirits that we do catch. Um, Believe it or not, taking regular salt baths. Salt is amazing. What is salt? Salt is crystals, little tiny crystals. Use them as crystals. There's certain rules with really negative stuff. They can't touch salt. So tonight, and this is where we're going to lead off to here, we're going to make holy water. Now, the reason why this holy water, or the beginning of the holy water, has crystals in it is because I use these crystals to bind things. Okay. So I want my crystals extremely high vibrational. And do keep in mind, there are some crystals you cannot put in water. I like the regular quartz crystals because the beautiful thing about a quartz crystal, this is a generic of all stones. Say if you're doing a healing spell or to bring money to you or whatever, and you don't have a certain stone, like tiger's eye would be great for bringing money to you, but you don't have a tiger's eye stone. Quartz crystals are awesome because with intent, they can do anything. They seriously can. You can use them for anything and everything. So these are my go-to for when I'm catching things. So anyway, so if everybody, I don't know who has water with them or not. We're going to start, and I'm going to make the holy water with you guys here. I think I can go off. Whoops, over here somewhere. There we go. Okay, who's my inhaler? I don't need that here. Okay, so I'm going to set the water here. Okay, the best waters to use. Okay, um, we actually get well water. We have a very old well with this house. We live in this house from the 1800s, okay? And the beauty of that is this is coming directly from the ground. This is amazing water to use. So, but you can go out and get distilled water. I don't like to buy and use bottled water, and I'm going to tell you why, because it has sat in warehouses for a very long time, and I consider the water dead if you want to take it that way. Because when water sets for a long time, it compromises the molecular structure of the water, so forth and so on. We want good structure because we need it to do good things. Okay, so here we have, just pretend this is just regular water in here. Pretend the crystals aren't in here. Okay. Salts to use. My favorite and go-to is black lava sea salt from Hawaii. I use this. So when you see my holy water's black. So anyway, so black dispels negative energy. So this is what I use. But tonight, I'm going to be using regular kosher salt. The regular kosher salt, I like it because number one, it's already blessed. It's been blessed by a rabbi. I don't care who blessed it as long as it's good salt. I am ordained as well, so I blessed it myself. And this is how simple it is putting your intent into it. I can do it non-Christian, okay? I bless this salt of all negativity. May this salt bless and consecrate all that it touches in the name of love and light. Okay. I usually say Jesus Christ because that's who I work with. So, anyway, again, it's intent. Now, before I put the salt in the water, I need to bless the water. Okay. I bless and consecrate this water. I remove all negativity from this water, and may this water bless and consecrate all that it touches in the name of whatever you believe in. Again, as I said, I use Christianity ways. That's what I know. That's what I've been up with. But I also use Buddha. I also use Lord Ganesh. I use whatever's needed at the moment because all these beings do exist. Seriously. And just remember, your belief becomes your reality. So if you believe in everything, you're not closing your soul off to the experience of that. So now we've blessed the salt. Now we've blessed the water. My rule of thumb when I make holy water, I always put salt in it, okay? I want to be able to taste the salt in the water. That's how salty I want this water, because the holy water itself has a punch to it against negative things. You put salt in it and it has an extra punch. So why not do that, right? So you do whatever resonates with you. And again, it's not coming down to the wording of things. It's the intent behind it, putting love and light. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir my crystals. I'm not hurting them by no means. All right. So you can see I've added a lot of salt into that because my water's kind of murky. Usually my water's black, like I said. And taste testing, definitely salty. That's what I want. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay. Believe it or not, this also gives an extra punch too. Hey, I'm back. Saying the Lord's Prayer into the water, I do this. Believe it or not, saying the Lord's Prayer actually hits every chakra, which is power centers in your body, and raises you up. But saying certain things, I say Mother Mary prayer into the water, whatever. I love you. Just doing that. You're spraying this around and it has the I love you vibe in it. Don't you think that something's going to get away from you that's not of that vibration? Because if it stays in that vibration, it's going to raise it up. You understand? I've actually crossed negative things over by raising them up. I've given them permission to stay with me in my house for a allotted period of time until I can cross them over, especially if they're human souls. I don't want to lose those human souls. Just like Dave that lives in this house. He was a very angry man when we first moved in, and now everything's copacetic. I want to help Dave if I possibly can. So now, with this beautiful holy water, okay, saying the Lord's Prayer, I do the Our Father who art in heaven into it, doing the sign of the cross over it. But again, this is my way. You can do it by, I put love and light into this water. May this water bless and consecrate all that it touches in everything that is holy under the sun. It doesn't matter what the wording in, it's the intent and it's going into the water. When something negative comes near you, pretend it's Auntie Sue and say, I love you. It's going to get away from you real quick. It doesn't want to be loved. It wants to be hated and it wants to be feared. It's that simple. Seriously, that simple. Okay, so holy water. What do you do if you're living in a dorm house and you can't burn sage and you can't cleanse or smudge your house? Easy answer. As I said, everything has a frequency to it. When you take herbs, okay, these are my favorites in here, okay, we got rosemary. That's my fave. It smells like mint though because it's been laying on the mint. Rosemary is very powerful. This is actually is the essence of Mother Mary, so the frequency of it's very, very powerful. Dried state, but if you are in a dorm and you actually cannot burn things, if you have a hot plate, you're all set. Boil some water, and in the water, you want to put cinnamon. Cinnamon, can you see it? This is hard, Sarah. How do you do this? Anyway, that's cinnamon, ground cinnamon. You can use regular cinnamon, whatever. Put rosemary in the water. Put mint, which is awesome. Put I got parsley. Parsley's really good too. Believe it or not, in the olden days, they used to put bay leaves underneath the cribs of where babies slept to protect them overnight from bad fairies and all these things that really do exist, believe it or not. I have pictures of all of them, and I will share that with you in future. So what you do is you put the herbs in hot water, seep it, and just go around your room and just say, I bless and consecrate this area in love and light. So you don't even have to put smoke around the room. You can actually just walk around the room with the herbs. I'll give you a great thing. You've heard of pumpkin spice. Everybody drinks it this time of year. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you something really crazy. All the spices in pumpkin spice, okay, actually are used against negative spirits. And the funny thing is negative spirits rule fall and winter. Coincidence? I think not. So anyway, I just a little bit of history there if you want to check into it. Another great thing to do also is if you have an infuser. Oh, I got stuff rolling over there on me. This is sage. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, damn. Essential. There we go. Clary sage. Essential oils are great to put in diffuser. This is actually rose. This is also sanctity. This is the mother. If when I do some cleansing, sometimes you'll get the smell of rose afterwards. That is actually sanctity. It's telling you that the house has been blessed. So that's really cool when that happens. But rose is great. Rose symbolizes love. That's why we give roses, so that to the ones that we love. So that's pretty cool. Let's see here. Last minute is okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. So filling your home with sage or doing these things is very, very beneficial to you. And not to mention, you'll get sick less often. By keeping your vibration up, you're I've been told by the angels there should be no sickness here. There should be no sicknesses. People to ask me, is there a hell? Here you go. It's the life lessons and the hardships that we learn that drive us to our knees and want us to give up on life. And we pick up and we dust ourselves off and we carry on. That's what we're meant to do. We learn from these lessons. This attachment I had almost destroyed me, but I learned from it. It doesn't bother me anymore. I'm speaking to wonderful things now because I got around him. You have to, we also create blocks for ourselves. Our belief creates blocks. When you sit here and believe, you know what, there's no demons, there's no this, there's no that, you're only a skeptic until you have the experience of it. Once you have the experience, it's like, oh my God, what do I do? People lose their stuff. They just lose their mind because you can't fight it physically. You can't take a sword and stab it, but guess you can. You have a spiritual sword. Archangel Michael gives us all a spiritual sword. I have had dreams of my spiritual sword. I've used it in my dreams to fight things. It's amazing. We all have etheric wings, believe it or not, in our backs, right where our spine comes together between the scapulars, our shoulder blades, okay? Picture being a monarch and opening up your spiritual wings now. Jocelyn, I'm awesome. It's my good girl. My granddaughter has psychic abilities, so I'm glad she's here because she's learning things because she's had a few bouts with a few negative things that don't need to be there. So, and again, it's how do you stop the bully on the playground? You bully him back, seriously. When something tries oppressing you, oppress it back. I have somebody that I'm working with now, and her thing, she can hear it constantly. She's clairaudient like I am and constantly hears it talk to her. But I said, use that against it because as it knows her fears, now she knows its fears. She knows that certain things she does irritates it. I'll give you a great, for instance. I went to the gas station. When you get up in frequency, weird stuff starts to happen. And I'm going to give you a great, for instance. I was at the gas station one day, never cut anybody off, driving normal, pull up to the gas pump. I had a car come straight at me, and the man, like he was going to hit my car, got out of the car, started screaming at me, saying all these profanities at me. I pumped 5 cents worth of gas and got the hell out of Dodge. On the way home, I'm thinking, what the hell happened? And I actually heard one of my guides say to me, don't worry, Catherine, your frequency ticked off his demons. People have demons with them. These are the negative things it tells you to fight or hurt or somebody or you need to leave or they want to destroy relationships, believe it or not, because they want to single you out and they want to isolate you and alienate you, and this is how they oppress you. Keep natural light in your house. Don't keep your rooms dark. Let that natural light in, because believe it or not, when negative things are in your home, they can actually stay in your bedroom if all the windows are closed and all the doors are closed. And also, another great thing you can do, believe it or not, is put salt under your bed. Put a cup of salt under your bed. This makes a sacred space. This holy water that you guys, I taught you how to make, you can spray it around your bed. You can spray it on the bed. I promise you, even the black salt does not leave marks. The only time it leaves marks is if you're spraying it on windows or mirrors. That's the only time you have to wipe it down. You can spray it on white clothing. It will not make marks. And the beauty of this is you want to put it in closets, because closets are major gateways. This is why you'll go in your room and your door will be closed, and you go in your room again and why is my door open? I didn't have that open. Weird stuff happens like that. That's something going out of the back of your closet. I'm going to teach you how to feel gateways right now. Okay, so we're all going to do this together. We're all going to rub our hands for about 10 seconds vigorously, like you're cold. Brrr, it's cold. Okay, and what you do, and you can do this to your computer right now, is hold your hand very lightly. You don't want it stirring, just very lightly. Put your hand to the computer or to your phone or to the TV, and you're going to feel a swirling going on in here. Okay. And if you hold your hand about an inch away from whatever you're checking on to see if there's a gateway there, your hand will actually move towards it or it will move away. If it moves away, that means it's an entry point into your room. If it goes towards the mirror, that means it's an exit point. Sometimes you can have both. You will have both. On one side of the mirror, it's going this way, and the other side of the mirror, it's going in. You want to close these gateways. How do we close gateways? Intense. There's that word again. Okay. Counterclockwise. Okay. In Wicca, when you set up a sacred circle, okay, you do widdershins. Widdershins is clockwise. Docile, okay, yeah, no, docile. I get those back. Yeah, docile is counterclockwise. So what we want to do is counterclockwise. I close this gateway and picture your hand in the gateway getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I seal it with the cross because that's just me. But I seal this gateway with love and light. Only beings of love and light can ever use this gateway again. It's permanently closed. And you want to bring it into the here and now. In Wicca, you will hear people say, as I will it, so mote it be. That's bringing it into the here and now. You will hear me say, as my words are spoken, so it shall be done. That means it's done. I'm not going to wait for it to happen. As soon as my words are spoken, it's done. Okay. So you want to bring everything into the here and now because that gives you power. Remember, the only moment that exists in time is the moment. Do everything in threes? Yes. I have rituals. Ha. In the shower, the best place. You're cleansing yourself already, so why not cleanse yourself oracally in the shower? If you don't have a bath, you can actually take salt. Believe it or not, Epsom salt's great. Put it on a face cloth, wash yourself down. I say wash, wash, wash away all the cares of the day. Cast out shadows, cast out wrong. Make my body safe and strong. Okay. I say it 3 times. And believe it or not, at the end of my shower, I actually thank the water for cleansing my body, my soul, and my spirit, and for keeping me alive. Because without water, we're dead. So, thankful and gratitude. If you pulled that back up again, Sarah, do you have that consciousness list? Hey, gosh, right on the ball. Look at that. Okay, so gratitude. Acceptance, reasons, love, joy, peace, enlightenment. Okay. Being grateful for things in your life. You can take that down now, Sarah, if you want. Honey. Thank you. Being grateful for what you have, even if it's only $1.49 in your checking account. I'm thankful for the $1.49, but I'm open to receive more. Let the universe know what you want instead of what you don't want. We're always telling the universe what we don't want. Okay. I don't want to be poor anymore. In fact, saying that you're poor brings more poor. It's the power of magnetism. It is how it works. When you start being positive in love and light and seeing, um, I get a brand new car. I stranded it in my driveway because it rained and it was a lake, and I thought I could get through it because I had all-wheel drive. Halfway through it, I'm floating. Woo. And I'm sitting here and I'm laughing. I'm not pissed. And I was going to a case, in fact. I actually had to call my friend Mike, who's here in chat somewhere. And I actually had to ask him to come and pick me up because I was stranded and I couldn't even open my door because that's how deep the puddle was, that the water was coming in the car. My car was floating, literally floating. And I killed it. I killed the engine in it and everything. It's like, God, I just need Moses. 2 seconds, part this crap. I'm out of here. It didn't happen. I laughed. I made jokes about it. And the funny thing is, I leased that car, right? They ended up paying off the insurance and I had extra money that I got over and above. And I ended up buying a new car that I own and not lease. So everything worked out. You see what I'm saying? I didn't get caught up in the moment of, oh, woe is me, the Eeyore syndrome. Oh, why is it always happening to me? See the learning behind, see the teaching behind what's going on, and your life is really going to start changing. I guarantee it. When I started doing this, I met some very special people. Mike, Julie Atherton, that's in here. Julie Atherton's sister Penny. There was a few other that were supposed to be in here, but I don't see them in here tonight. But anyway, this is my soul family. Well, an orb just went by. Did you see that? This is my soul family. And when you start, yes, I saw that. When you start connecting and getting above what I call the drama zone, okay, it's okay to help people out that are in the drama zone, but keep them at arm's length. Don't let their problems become your problems. When you do what we're doing here, and I know there's a lot of you, and there's a few that I've spoken to actually one-on-one with, people in your family don't accept what you do. They think you're crazy. They think you're nuts. We are the boundary breakers, okay? We are the frontier men. This is what we do. We are the light keepers. We're gatekeepers. That's what we are. This is why we're here. This is why we're in this chat right now. We are all gatekeepers. We actually are pillars of light. We bring light down to the earth and help raise the frequency of the earth. This is why, I'll give you another for instance. I was sitting in my car, sitting at a light, and there was this two couple walking by. Okay, this was in Biddeford, Maine. Okay, they're walking in front of my car. I didn't toot, I didn't do anything. I was just letting them walk by. The guy turned to me, slammed his hand on the hood of my car, and started screaming obscenities at me. And it's like, what? Anyway, and again, it was, I irritated his demon. They can see, because when you start raising your frequency, you have good things around you. You have angelics, you have cherubs, you have, believe it or not, fairies. I've worked with them as well, elementals, and I do have pictures and I will prove that they exist. By the way, these aren't just words. All these beautiful beings exist. There goes another orb. There it goes. So anyway, that was probably Faye right there. Oh, there's another. What? That's Faye right there. Did you see it? It just went. Let's put it on this side. It just went. Did you guys see that? That was Faye. Seriously, that was a little fairy right there. That was crazy. Can you come back and do it again? Come say hello. There probably is something looking through my window. I have a lot to show. Just kidding. So anyway, so herbs, all these beautiful things, they come together. Taking regular salt baths is really, really wonderful. And why not take it a step further? Throw some herbs. My friend Tina loves to do this. She's my little witchy. She throws herbs in her tub. I do it too. Epsom salt, the best one to get is lavender Epsom salts. It's very, very cheap. So that's very cool. We'll have to share stories there, Jasmine. Absolutely. So this is really cool to put this in your tub water, and just because you're taking on the frequency and the vibration of it, you see. When you stop seeing things, let me give you another for instance. Do you realize that the lens of your eye only sees 5% of your environment that's around you? That means 95% it is not seeing. That's insane, okay? Which means this is why you see things in your peripheral vision because it's not through your lens. You're picking up the shadow things on the side, you turn and they're gone, okay? Why do you think animals can see spirit and we can't? Because they have a different lens. They can see things differently. They're seeing ultraviolet light differently than we do, okay? So that means 95% of what you don't know is out there. And you don't know it exists because you can't see it, okay? When you start realizing that all these energies around you, your life changes. It really does. It gets spooky. It gets interesting. Um, like I said, the number one reason why people get attachments, and again, don't have guilt and shame with this, is nothing you've done. You opened up psychically, and your vibration was low when you opened up, and this thing said, "Oh, easy to feed. I'm going in. I'm going to mess with her," and they mess with your head. So be conscious of your thoughts. Seriously, take responsibility for your energy. And again, it's not what you're sending out to people, it's what you're allowing coming into your environment. So that's very important. We can end the class now, or do you guys want to talk for another half hour? I can ask questions. Ask me questions. I love questions. I have all the answers. What do you guys want to do? We can end the class now here and go on till next week. Or, all right, questions. All right, sweet. What questions do you have? Binding things is wonderful. If, for instance, believe it or not, psychic energy from living people can affect you as well. I had a client that I was helping. What's the transparent thing in the window? This window over here? Yeah. Whoops. Sorry. Opposite. This window. I have things hanging in my windows. In fact, here I'll show you one of them that's really cool. This was a gift. Johnson will recognize it. This was a gift from my son and his lovely bride, and it's full of crystals, and it's made for grapevines and so forth. And it's very powerful because copper is a great conductor. In fact, a real wand, believe it or not, will have a copper line going through it. And a magic wand, believe it or not, if you ever want to make one, is supposed to be as long from your elbow to your middle finger. Okay, here I have my other beautiful granddaughter made me this. I have very talented granddaughters. Um, it's a beautiful wand, but if you notice, look at that. It's a little short. I haven't taught her the rules of that, but this is very, very powerful. She's got citrine on the top of it here, kind of hard to see, and moss. And she made this all herself. She's got some more crystals over here. Anyway, there's power in wands, believe it or not. Wands are used for directing energy. I have an athame, which is a witch blade, and I never killed anything with it. I use it to direct energy. In fact, if you watch any of my videos when I'm house cleansing, it's in my pants. It's on my back because it's protecting me. There's another orb that just went off my bed. I've actually infused Archangel Michael's sword into my athame, and I keep it on my back because negative things, such as demons, look for the easiest entry point into your body, believe it or not. I've had 6 back surgeries, so that's an easy entry point. So that's where I wear my athame or my ritual blade that I use for directing energy. There's certain things that you can do. Medallions. Sarah makes wonderful, wonderful pieces. Sarah has had nosebleeds from spirit. She will attest to that. Yes, they can. Believe it or not, when spirit comes around, and you can tell when spirit, they create pressure right here. This is your third eye right here, which is your pineal gland, which is directly in the middle of your brain, okay? But your third eye, believe it or not, this is how powerful crystals are. Your third eye, I just saw a shadow over there in my peripheral vision. Your third eye is actually got liquid in it, and it has little tiny crystals. And they've discovered that when you meditate, they start to vibrate. And Jesus Christ in the Bible, and I'm not a Bible thumper by no means, talks about the God light being on. This is the light they're talking about being on. If you go back to the Egyptians, they hold the pine cone in their hand. If you look at the hieroglyphs, and the pine cone is the pineal gland because that's what it looks like. It looks like a pine cone. When you they actually drew pictures of UFOs and creatures and everything that came down and gave them knowledge. Knowledge is everything. Just Odin gave away his eye for knowledge. Knowledge is very important because knowledge brings you into the light. There's an ebb and flow to everything too, Jasmine. And I'm going to give you, for instance, like I said, negative spirits rule, believe it or not, fall and winter. This is the dark time of the year. This is when we turn the clocks back an hour. This is when we're in darkness most of the time. So they are stronger that time. Believe it or not, after storms, winter storms, thunderstorms, they gather energy, kinetic energy from these storms, and it makes them stronger. So it will increase activity in your house, Jasmine. Absolutely. If there's negative people in your house too that are fighting and bickering, they can have attachments too, and there can be a party going on with negative attachments. They feed off of this. Believe it or not, just inviting somebody into your house, you're giving that invite to their attachment that may be with them. Okay? That's awesome, Joss. So when this is what I do when I greet somebody at my house, you're welcome to come on in. And then in my head, because I know their attachment can hear it, you're not welcome. You stay out of my house. Plus, I put guards, putting a line of salt or brick dust, believe it or not, at your front and back door. That's the major entry point going into your house. It lets negative things know they're not invited. This holy water, I do want to say, is you don't want to tick things off. And what I mean by this is if you go around and spray your entire room with the holy water, and there's something negative in your room, you're chasing it all around, and it can't cross the barriers where the salt is, so it's going to give you a really bad time. So you always want to cleanse, use sage, seep herbs in water, and just cleanse the room with intent. I banish all negativity, both seen and unseen. I command you to leave. I revoke any invitation here. You're not welcome here. Your words have power. That's how spells work. Spells come from what? Spelling. It's quite simple if you just think about how it all kind of comes to be, you know. Believe it or not, there's another rule. Dropping things on the floor, especially grain or rice. Okay, and this is going to lead to something. When you drop it on the floor, a negative spirit will stop and count. They have to stop and count. Stop and count. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so why now do you think they throw rice at weddings? They throw rice at weddings so the negative stuff stays behind, counting the grains of rice on the ground while the bride and groom get away for a lovely honeymoon. There's always something. There's always some learning in folk tales and fairy tales. There's always some truth in it. Discernment, learn the truth. Seriously, learn the truth. But the biggest thing, I'm just trying to read here. I always say, if you're not in love and light, you're not welcome. Excellent, Jasmine. That is protecting you. That's perfect. And again, it's not the words, it's your intent. And when you speak to them, don't speak to them with anger. Remember, anger is another form of fear. Okay. So be forceful, make your point, but don't do it fearfully. You're stronger than these things, and you turn the table when you realize that you have power over these things. You're just going to learn psychic powers and how to use them. Do you realize that when you get really good telepathy and biokinesis is a lovely thing? Believe it or not, you can change the color of your eyes. My eyes used to be dark, dark brown, and I did biokinesis where I kept telling myself, I love my beautiful green eyes. I love my beautiful green eyes. I take it into the here and now. This is called biokinesis. You can actually look it up. It actually does happen. You can turn your eyes blue. You can turn it any color you want. But if you're going to do it, you have to stick with it. because if you don't stick with it, you can actually kind of hurt your eyesight with it. So there's certain things you have to be careful of, but that's called biokinesis. Kinesis is moving things using the power of your mind. Changing things with the power of your mind is kinesis. So it's really cool how it works. You have the ability to control your environment. Have you ever gotten mad and there's like a glass of milk or something there and you just put out all this power and you're just screaming and all of a sudden the milk or something goes flying across the counter and spills? That wasn't a ghost that did that. That was you who did that. That is your kinetic energy that you threw out into the environment and you manipulated your environment. You're powerful. You really, really are. And if I can get this across to you guys, how amazing you guys are going to be. You guys want to chase ghosts and collect all these spirits and stuff. Um, Excellent. Your words are weapons. Fantastic. This is my granddaughter. I'm so proud of her. She's amazing. I do meditations with my granddaughters. It raises their frequency. It keeps them safe. Swords and knives. Yes, these are spiritual weapons. Ask Archangel Michael for his sword. Here, let me 1 second. I'll show you what a sword looks like. I actually paint. This is Archangel Michael here, kind of hiding his face a little bit. There he is. But anyway, this is his sword. This is Archangel Michael's color, which is blue, and he's in charge of your throat chakra. He's about communicating the truth. He is about courage and strength, and this is why I work very, very closely with him. He actually sends people to me. It's so crazy how it works. I've had people when I used to work come up to me and I'm supposed to give you this. I don't know why, but I feel that you're supposed to have this, and they'll give me a crystal or something. It's just really cool how it works. You have a higher self. Your higher self knows who you are. It knows who other people are. And believe it or not, if you have a problem, your higher self will send you in the direction to help give you answers. Okay. But the biggest thing is, and this is how you know that you're disconnected and you're not grounded, when you're going around and asking questions constantly because you don't know what to do with your life, you're disconnected. Okay. How do you connect yourself? Sit under a tree, get roots. Picture roots coming out your butt and coming out your feet and going down into the middle of the earth, right down to the core. All right. I'm told where the lava is, they're telling me that's called the central sun. Okay. That's the energy. That's what the earth is, a big crystal. If you think about it, the ley lines, which you probably don't even know about, is a crystal grid. Ley lines, Ley, ley lines. It's a crystal grid around the earth. You connect with one tree, 5 minutes, you can send love around the earth. This is how crazy it is. I connect with the tree. I don't even have to go outside. I send love to that tree and I tell that tree to give it to humanity, and it goes through the roots. These root systems connect with the other trees. Then it goes into the ley lines. I've been told by the angels in 5 minutes, your love is felt through humanity by sending it down through a tree. How insane is that? Intent is everything. I set up gateways. I get to a stop sign and I say, oh, I'm going to put a gateway over there so things can cross over and go into the light. When your psychic abilities come out, something just went behind me. Did you see that? When your psychic abilities come out, okay, things see you because now you've gone from being like a gray spirit to rainbow color. They know you're open, okay? You are the light in the darkness. And guess what? Good and bad are coming to you. The good ones help to cross over. Maybe it's somebody that died a little too soon or whatever. They just want love and help to cross them over. I take away their sins. It's the only reason why I'm ordained, because people, again, your intent is your reality. I'm not saying sin keeps you from crossing over. By no means am I saying that. What I'm saying is, if the spirit believes he's got sin, he will not cross unless I take that sin away. That is the only reason why I'm ordained. That's it, is to cross spirits over. I've had crazy dreams about spirits coming to me. A lot of Native Americans I've crossed many, many over. But the greatest part about that is that they come and become part of your light family. So when you go out and you're dealing with other negative things, or maybe I need to cross more Native Americans over the next place I'm going to, my Native Americans are already there talking to them. When I get there, they're all gathered waiting for me. It's crazy. I can feel them all along the woods lines, just staring at me, waiting for me. Open the gateway, cat. It's insane how it works. It really is. The astral realm, every time I've asked a spirit that has not crossed, I get the same two answers every time. What do you see? Darkness. What do you feel? Cold. You will always hear a spirit who has not crossed. I'm cold. I can't see. It's dark. Even if they're in the room with you and the sun's shining through the window, they're not seeing it, because people think dimensions are different places. They're not. They're different frequencies, which means the astral realm lays right on top of the gross realm, which is where we live in. Okay. Which means they can send cords down through us and get to us when we're dreaming and mess with us through dream state. And eventually, you guys have heard of Slenderman, have you not? Slenderman is not a real character, but guess what? He is now, because there's a wonderful thing called the consciousness, the grand consciousness. When everybody gets together and has the same belief in something, guess what? It gets created, and it gets punched through a dimension and it gets created. But as you can create negative things, you can create positive things. You can create deities, you can create angelics, you can create fairy, you can create whatever you want to be your best friend and to hang with you. So if you have enough belief, you manifest things. If you believe, you manifest things. And when you manifest things, your reality changes. So, like I said, have an open mind. I use Christianity in the stuff that I do because I was born and raised to do that, and it gives me power. And I've seen these beings in my dream. But again, if it was Buddha, it'd show itself as Buddha. I have talked to my dead mother-in-law, Shirley Harrison. Okay, that's the whole point of learning the automatic writing. And I have talked to her and I said, "Do you see God?" And she says, "There's no God here, but there's somebody in charge." Okay, because she didn't believe in the Almighty God, but she's telling me that there is somebody in charge. Now, I've talked to my grandmother who's deceased, and she will tell me, "Yes, God and Jesus and all these lovely things are here." That was her belief. It's your reality. It's like the Matrix. Okay. And it's kind of like TV. They distract you with something going on in Hollywood because they're trying to cover something over here that might be going on in the government. It's the sleight of hand, it's the magic trick. When you start seeing the truth in things, you wake up. And the other thing I was actually told by the angelics is people who have not woken up psychically in the next year or so will not wake psychically up for another 25 years. That's insane, because everybody, believe it or not, this is how important you are. By you waking up, you're bringing more light to the planet. You're helping the evolution of Mother Gaia. That's the consciousness of Earth, by the way. Okay. Helios is the consciousness of the sun. Venus. Okay. There's a consciousness to these beings. They really are. I've communicated with them. I've meditated with them. They're amazing beings. Hecate. People call it Hecate. That's wrong. Hecate, keeper of witchcraft, keeper of magic. She's the keeper of the last dimension, the black sun that you go through when you die. It melts away your personal energies that you gained here on earth because you can't cross over and go to a higher frequency if you're still grounded here. So that gets burnt away in that dimension of the dark sun with Hecate. She is keeper of the crossroads. She's also known as the triple goddess. She's moon phases, made mother and crone. I can go on for this forever, but I work very closely with her. I wanted to know how it was to work with demons. She controls demons. Why not work with her? I can learn valuable lessons. I've actually had dreams, and I remember them distinctly, going down, not to hell, but going down where lost souls are. She collects lost souls and she brings them places, you know? So there is a place called Tartarus. This is the deepest, darkest depths of hell, but it's in earth. It's in the center of the earth. That's why all these demons are coming out now, is because the frequency of the earth is going up and all these things are being forced out. And for them to naturally be here, they need a host. It's you. Okay. How do you prevent them from latching on or jumping you or anything? You raise your frequency. Again, smudging. And people think that smudging is just inside the house. You want to go outside too. You want to push everything out of your house, and then you want to go outside and you want to go around your house. Okay. Docile. Okay. Clockwise. Widdershins is counterclockwise. There you go. So you want to go docile around your house. I do it 3 times, and then I put holy water, or I spray the holy water. I put the holy water in a spray bottle. It's the easiest way to disperse it. And make sacred space. Make an altar for yourself. Put statues on there that you like, even if it's fairy. I don't care, as long as it's high vibrational. It doesn't have to be Jesus Christ sitting on your altar. As long as it's something that you draw strength from and you get power from by looking at it and it makes you feel good, you're connecting with this. Something just moved behind my head again. Dang, I keep moving. It was over here. There it is. It's the opposite on here. Sorry, guys. So anyway, so I think I'm going to end here for tonight because I'm just going to keep babbling on. But we have other classes and other wonderful things I'd love to share with you guys. The holy water is absolutely wonderful because at least spray it around your bed, because we get psychically attacked when we sleep at night. That's why we have demented dreams and nightmares. So put the intent on, I'm going to a good place tonight, because we astral project when we're sleeping. We learn lessons when we're sleeping. So spray around your bed and say, I just want the angels to come and take me and teach me wonderful things, and I don't want any nightmares. Put that intent out there. Your life will change. I promise you guys. I love you. Thanks for hanging with me. You guys are amazing. And I'm so proud of each and one of you. Jasmine, my mod, God love you. Adam, my heart goes out to you and your family right now. God bless. I spoke to you earlier. And anyway, so we just want to thank you all for coming tonight. It's been great. And I know I overload people with stuff. Like I said, I get so much in my head that needs to come out. But this is a great start, I think. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. Thank you. And like I said, I have pictures I'd like to share in other classes with you. I can show you fairies and elemental beings that you'd like to see. I can prove that it all exists. So anyway, much love and light. And remember, shine, shine, shine. Be well.